All right, it is the morning after the night before Nikita Tszyu, Ben Mahoney, a controversial draw here on the Gold Coast. So just thought I'd jump on once more before we head off and reflect on the fight and more so what it means for Nikita Tszyu's career moving forward, because I know they did have plans afoot for big things in the US for Nikita later in the year, and just sort of give him a taste of that US market. So firstly, shout out to Ben Mahoney, put on a terrific fight last night against Nikita Tszyu. I still had the fight scored to Nikita Tszyu, 7-5. But a terrific fight. Ben Mahoney, a great competitor, put on a terrific showing, and he was great all week, Ben Mahoney. So shout out to him, and hopefully he can seize this opportunity to go on to bigger and better things as well. But most people will be focused on Nikita Tszyu and what this means for him moving forward. And I'd just urge a bit of caution. I think, I don't think Nikita performed badly. I think Nikita had an expectation and envisaged stopping Ben Mahoney, and I think when he didn't do that, he felt like he failed. And that's why you got that comment about, I thought I didn't win the fight, because then Nikita backtracked on that at the post-fight press conference. So I think that was just a bit of disappointment in not doing as well as he thought he could. I know that feeling myself. But I just think scrap the US thing, have a couple of fights here. I think there's still a couple more domestic guys here. I mean, I'm thinking of guys like Brock Jarvis, and those sort of guys. I think he can squeeze out a couple more. I just think that fight last night, first time going 12 rounds, I felt like Nikita's pacing was off in the fight. He started cautiously to, not punch himself out, but then in those later rounds, 11 and 12, Ben Mahoney came on, and that's probably where Nikita, the fight was lost in a sense for Nikita. Not that he lost, but you know what I mean? He didn't secure that win in those championship rounds, and that all comes with experience and pacing of a fight and that sort of thing. So I just urge a bit of caution. I think there's a fight left here. I think someone like a Brock Jarvis or there's a few other names here that Nikita could fight, or we could look at it sort of a European level. One thing I did find interesting was the reception from the crowd last night. Ben Mahoney, he is a Gold Coast fighter. He had a lot of support in there. There was some subtle boost for Nikita Tszyu, so it's going to be interesting moving forward where they sort of place him and what opponent they can't sort of bring a no-name opponent like that Diaz they had out here last time. They can't. I don't think they can do that. I think they've either got to go to the States and do something better than what was last night, and just sort of ignore the result in a way, learn from it, and just go ahead and onto something bigger and better. Or you make that rematch happen with Ben Mahoney, because that was a terrific fight. That could be Australian Fight of the Year last night. So in my opinion, you've got to either go bigger and better, or you've got to go as good as. So either make the rematch, look at someone like a Brock Jarvis or a domestic level opponent, or you go bigger and better and you do a rematch with someone like Benny Mahoney, or with Benny Mahoney, one or two fights from here down the track. But that's just a bit more of my thoughts on the fight. Terrific fight. I still scored it for Nikita Tszyu. I thought those left hands down the pipe all night were what won him the fight, pushing the action. I was very impressed with Ben Mahoney and his strength on the inside. I'm assuming, I don't know too much about it, but I'm assuming that comes from his Muay Thai background and that martial arts background. Very strong on the inside. I think he caught Nikita by surprise. Because if you look at that difference between Nikita last night and the Nikita in the Zerafa fight, Nikita was pushing Zerafa back at will. Benny Mahoney wasn't going anywhere. So I think that did caught Nikita off guard. I think the 12 rounds sort of had an impact as well. And also just the pressure and expectation. But Credit to both guys, and yeah, it was a great night of fights. A very interesting ending there with the George Rose situation. So I'm curious to find out more about that. But as always, I hope you all enjoyed the coverage. It's not easy. It's not easy having an objective opinion either. You're always going to come up under criticism, but I try and remain as balanced and neutral as possible. But yeah, so hope you enjoyed the content, and we will see you at the next fight, which will be, by the way, hoping to get over to Vegas for Jai Pataya and Noel McAllister. So hopefully see you there, and look forward to it.